Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming, and welcome to a quick look at some interesting games, upcoming games, and we have demos for all these games as part of the October Next Fest. So this is running from the 9th of October until the 16th, I believe, and you can try out a lot of games. I have already downloaded and even played one or two of these. So I wanted to give you some games that look interesting to me. Of course, there are lots and lots of games here. Just click here on the Steam store page and you'll be able to browse through and check out perhaps hundreds of games that are available for you to check out. So I'm going to mention a few here. Let's get started. First, we have Enshrouded. So Enshrouded is a base building survival style game. It says here, you are flameborn. Let me just run the video here. You are flameborn, last ember of hope of a dying race. Awaken, survive the terror of a corruption fog, and reclaim the lost beauty of your kingdom. Venture into a vast world, vanquish punishing bosses, build grand halls, and forge your path in this co-op survival action RPG for up to 16 players. So a lot of base building, crafting, stuff like that. Reminds me a little bit of Valheim. You have up to 16 players here. Valheim, I think, have 10. So yeah, if you like survival base building stuff, this should be fun. It's got that medieval thing, you're building with stones and making castles and things like that. Next is something I'm very keen on. This is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. So they've basically taken Deep Rock Galactic and Vampire Survivors and mixed it into one basically. And this concept sounds interesting. I'm a big fan of these Vampire Survivor style games. As you know, I've played yet another Zombie Survivors, and I was looking forward to this one. They also had a closed beta a while ago, which I missed, so I was very mad about that. But now we have another chance to try this out. So basically, you are a dwarf and you are surviving these waves of bugs that are attacking you in like the normal game. And this is a very small download, 975 MB or something. So you can definitely try this out if you like these style of games, the Vampire Survivor style stuff. Now on to something different, we have The Last Faith. So this is a 2D Souls-like Metroidvania. From the looks of it, it reminds me of a lot of interesting games like Castlevania, even Bloodborne, you could say, Blasphemous, and it's got that sort of very interesting pixel art style, the kind of style that I like. It's like more detailed somehow. It looks more beautiful to me. So it looks very promising. And if you like games like Blasphemous, etc., Salt and Sanctuary, then maybe this might be something to try. Next is a big one, and I think this might be a surprise hit or surprise success for whenever this comes out, November. This is RoboCop Rogue City. Now, I had heard of this game was coming out and stuff like that, but I had no idea this was this well done, because the atmosphere is wonderful here. It's voiced by the same actor who played RoboCop, and the graphics are also not bad. So this is a big demo, and I'm actually surprised they have offered a demo for a game like this. It's also open world, which I did not realize. So the demo is 44 GB download. So keep that in mind. They've also just patched the demo. So because there's some stuttering issues with the demo, when they have the shader compiling and all that. So every time a new scene loaded, they had to do that, and it resulted in a lot of stutters. But now they have patched that, so I'm really interested in checking this out. I had downloaded it, but didn't check it out. Now I will try and do that, because this looks very promising. If you're a kid from the 80s like me, this movie was pretty popular, and I still sometimes end up watching it here and there. So yeah, this looks very good. Comes out November. Next, we have the Thaumaturge. I have actually played and streamed this the weekend on the other channel, and this is also something I'm very impressed by. So you are a Thaumaturge, the guy who can control demons, and this is set in 1905, I think around Warsaw. And yeah, you have to sort of sense people's anger and passion, and it's usually influenced by some sort of monster creature, and you have to deal with that, find it, and basically control it. It reminded me a lot of like a detective game with elements from like Witcher and a bit of combat similar to Darkest Dungeon, you could say. I was a little worried about the combat, but when I played it, the combat was pretty good. It wasn't like very slow paced, it was quick, and there's no card mechanics or like move here and you've used your AP, now do this, stuff like that. It was pretty straightforward, and I liked it. The graphics also very good, story was good, voice acting was impressive. Even the demo took me an hour and a half to finish. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Comes out on the 5th of December. Next, we have Japanese Driftmaster. So a drifting game, and I believe this is also open world. It's set in Japan. You have a bunch of cars. Recently, we have been complaining about a lack of good racing games, arcade racing games. And this one might be a good one if it, let's have a look first, I guess. But yeah, so far it looks promising. If you like your cars to be sideways more than in a straight line, then this is definitely something to check out. And yeah, looks promising. Next, we have a Warhammer game, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Realms of Ruin. So I think this was featured in one of the showcases like the Microsoft showcase and things like that. So this is set in the Warhammer fantasy setting. So Sigmar, Magnus, that sort of thing. And yeah, looks okay, looks good. Graphically looks good. I'm not really keen on Warhammer Fantasy as much as I am with Warhammer 40k. But yeah, this looks like a well-made game. Frontier Developments, I think they also made the 40k game, the one I played last year. What was it called? The one with the Grey Knights. I think it's made by the same people. Anyway, so if you are a fan of these RTS games, check this out. Next, we have Foundry, and first impressions, just looking at it, it looks like satisfactory in many ways. So it says here, build a factory in an infinite simulated voxel world, mine resources, craft machinery, and automate your research to progress. Face logistic challenges by planning and building a conveyor belt and pipe network, manage a complex power system, and expand your constantly growing production lines. I guess this has become its own genre now. You could say Factorio, Satisfactory, this one. You could even say stuff like the Riftbreaker had some elements of that as well, even though it had more combat. But yeah, graphics look a little simplified, so might be easier to run. I mean, Satisfactory isn't particularly hard to run. So if you like those sort of games, this is another one to check out. Next, we have Laika Aged Through Blood. So this is a 2D shooter, bullet time, and looks very nice graphically, like the cartoon art style here. Laika Aged Through Blood is a Western-inspired Motorvania set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It is the story about a tribe oppressed by occupant forces and the personal story of a mother coyote warrior who descends on an endless path of vengeance to take back what her people lost. So yeah, nice cartoony style action game. Next is Jusant. So this is basically a climbing game, and we saw a bit of this during, again, one of the big showcases. And I really wanted to try this, but I forgot to play the demo last time, and the demos are only for a few days. So I missed out last time. I have already installed this one this time, so hopefully I can check it out. So enjoy the meditative vibes in Jusant, an action puzzle climbing game. Scale an immeasurably tall tower and ascend to new heights alongside your watery companion. Master your climbing tools, find your way up through the diverse biomes, and piece together the tower's past. Next is Sentry. So last year I made a video on Realms Deep, and they had featured a lot of upcoming games. This one is still not out, I guess, but we have a playable demo now. This is basically tower defense mixed with FPS, and I think this is co-op as well. Doesn't say here. Yeah, it is. So I think you can play single as well and co-op. So I think you're on a spaceship and aliens are attacking, so you set up your defenses and things like that, turrets, walls, things like that, and then of course get in position. So your walls and turrets will do some of the job, and then you have to run around and make sure you secure everything else. So interesting concept, and it's a hybrid of tower defense and FPS, and based on the graphics it should be very easy to run, I feel, as well. And then finally we have Echoes of the Living. This again looks inspired heavily by the Resident Evil games. They in fact say it here. Echoes of the Living is a dark classic survival horror inspired by the greatest hits from, they forgot a T here, the 90s, focused on reimagining visual horror. Your goal is to make it alive while uncovering the truth about the incident. So it looks like a very small team with some translation issues making a clone of Resident Evil. It looks okay, like from the, if you remember the Resident Evil stuff from the 90s. I had never played those games, but I had seen some videos and stuff over the years. Yeah, it looks very much like that. Might be all right. They might need to fix the translation though. But anyway, check out these demos. Let me know as well which ones you like. Quite a lot. There might be hundreds here, so I could only feature a few that look interesting to me. But yeah, there are plenty to check out. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll try and make a sales video as well. At the moment, I did not see too much in terms of new sales. Most of the games I mentioned at the weekend are still on sale, and a few that are available are not on big enough sales, like they have been cheaper in the past. So I'll maybe look at it tomorrow. But anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.